G'day guys, welcome to this edition of My Kitchen RX'd. I'm Jason across your door.
And I'm JP, and welcome to episode number 3. Tonight, guys, we're going to bring in an all-time pub classic, the chicken palmy. Yeah, and we're going to do it in a paleo fashion. You're going to love it.
Awesome. Alright JP, so we talk about chicken palmies, we talk about big plate of chips. What's going to be different between our paleo chicken palmy and chips compared to the old Ramsgate up the road? What's different?
Alright, so traditionally, guys, Parmesan, chicken palmy, very delicious, but obviously not the best thing for us, okay? So tonight we're going to do a chicken palmy plus the chips, but do so in a paleo fashion using all paleo-friendly ingredients. Alright, so we want to set our goals back and it'll put us in the right direction we want to do. Alright, so what we're going to do tonight, guys, is show you what we've got and why it's better for us than what you traditionally get at the old pub. Alright?
Alright, sounds great. Go through the ingredients, what we need before we get started on the paleo parmigiana and fries. So first of all, pretty straightforward ingredients. We've got the chicken breast here. Alright, what we want to do is basically half the chicken breast, make sure it's at a reasonable size so it does cook evenly. Alright, so we've got about 700 grams there. That's probably for around 2 to 3 people. Second main ingredient, the core ingredient for the fries, the sweet potato. We've got about exactly the same now, around 750 grams of sweet potato. Second, in this little one, we've got a bit of ham. So obviously we want to put that on top of the parmigiana once we cook that through. Top of the palmy, we've got some tomato sauce. You can use a tomato paste or maybe a pasta sauce here. We've got an organic one here that says paleo. We've got some oil. Use coconut oil if you want. We're just using olive oil tonight. Pretty basic here. Egg. Alright, we want to dip the chicken in there before we use the crumbs. Now, here we go. Here's the key ingredient that makes the difference with the old Ramsgate edition. The old almond meal. Now, where did we make this from? Marty's Nuts. Good old Marty from the box. Got his old nuts. Okay, so where do we get this almond meal from?
Marty's
Nuts. Good old Marty's Nuts. So Marty's one of our members at the box. So he's got someone he knows that's got obviously an almond farm, and he's brought in a heap of nuts. So then we grind them down, form this organic pesticide-free almond meal ready to go. And we're going to crumb the chicken in that. Alright, before we get into that, the last thing, seasonings. We've got the oregano, or what JP calls it, regano. We've got some chili flakes, sea salt, and just to add a bit of greenage is some kale there. Alright, we want to add a bit of flavour and also a bit of greenage to our meal tonight. Alright, let's get started.
So as you can see, guys, Jason's busy while he's slicing it now, perfectly trimmed sweet potato fries. So you got that chicken palmy later on.
There you go, so a couple of points I just want you to take into account here when you're cutting up these chips. We want them evenly cut up, right? There's one important reason we want them cooked through evenly, and the second we want them to brown, so it's more evenly. You right, mate? What's your notice? What are you doing? Hey, you merchandise, guys.
That's right, guys. Fresh off the yard, saw last week. Crosshead Brawn, release our new shirts and new kit.
Look awesome, eh?
They do. Hashtag season 1.
Hashtag super comfy.
Hashtag results guaranteed.
Hashtag various colours.
Hashtag all sizes.
Hashtag singlets too.
Hashtag goodies coming in next week.
Hashtag get around it.
Hashtag check out your store.
Hashtag crossingboard.com.au. Okay guys, now we've got the sweet potatoes here. So to prepare them and to get the maximum crispy, what we need to do, we're going to chuck these sweet potato fries into a bowl. Alright, the really important part here is putting a bit of olive oil and making sure that they're evenly coated with olive oil. Alright, that's the important part to get that crisp that everyone's after. I know a couple of people have been after that lately at the box. So we want to shake those around. The second part we want to do is add a bit of sea salt. Okay, that's going to give it a little bit of flavour and also make sure they're crispy. Okay, so a bit of a pinch there. Okay, shake them around. The last part to ensure that we get a crispy sweet potato fry is that we put them in one layer on the baking tray. Okay, we don't want them overcrowded on the baking tray. We want to make sure that they're spread out nice and even. Each sweet potato fry's got their own little postcode and there's plenty of room to share. Alright, next step from there, once we've got them going, as you can see, evenly coated with oil and salt, we're going to chuck them in the oven. We want to put them up towards the top of the tray, and we want the oven at around 175 degrees. Alright, let's chuck them in the oven. Okay, so want to cook those around 25 to 35 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. Obviously, different ovens have different temperatures, but make sure that we're getting that crisp, alright? So keep it low, otherwise it could get burnt pretty easily.
Just check these fries out. Make sure they might. Jeez. Yeah, they might need a turn. The old hero of the dish tonight, the chicken parmy itself. All I've done here is slice up the chicken parmesan, without the parmesan obviously because it's chicken, in half. And I'm going to make it a little egg wash and dip it into my secret 11 herbs and spices without all the 11, just being 3 tonight. Alright, so essentially guys, as Jay said earlier, chicken parmesan, quite a rich, decadent meal. Alrighty, so all I'm doing here guys is whisking up an egg, and that's going to allow me to dip my chicken breast into the almond meal and make that coating for that chicken parmesan. Before I do that guys, obviously I'm going to spice that almond meal up a little bit. So I'm taking not the 11 herbs and spices, but just 3 tonight. Obviously number 1, the key, the hero of that is the Celtic sea salt. Alright, so a good pinch of that, or 2, into that little almond milk concoction. The old fave, the oregano. Alright, so another good pinch of that to really whiz that coating up tonight. And for that little chili kit guys, some nice whole ground chili flakes. Oh, it's a shitload of chili flakes. Fucking hell. I didn't realise you did that. Alright. Alright, so quite a spicy dish tonight, obviously. Going for the whole Mexican approach. Alright, so essentially guys, all I do now is take my chicken breast fillet into my egg wash. Splatter around there. Straight from that into my almond milk concoction with the sea salt, with the oregano, and all that chili. Yeah?
Kilo of chili.
Alright, so as Jay said earlier, very, very similar to your chicken parmesans you get in your restaurants, your pubs. Alright, a delicious meal, but doing so tonight in a very, very healthy fashion, I guess. Alright, so taking that traditionally high carbohydrate, refined carbohydrate from the breadcrumbs and doing it tonight with the almond milk, make it a lot more healthy for us. Alright, so that's 1. Alright guys, so we've got that pan nice and hot. We're whacking a bit of olive oil. Of course, you can use your almond oil, your coconut oil as well. And I'm going to take those chicken parmies, whack them straight on. That's 2. 3. Trying to keep all the crumbs in there to get that nice coating for later on that we want to get. Then we're going to fry them about 3 to 4 minutes per side tonight. Making sure it's cooked through really well and that coating stuck on to get that nice crispy chicken palmy that we're after. Alright guys, it's been about 3 minutes now. Just turning over those palmies. And look at that, you already see a nice brown coating on those chicken palmies, that thick almond milk crust. And that's pretty much good to go. Alright, so there we have it guys. Paleo taken, an old pub classic, the paleo palmy, absolutely delicious. Yeah, we were quite fortunate guys.
Paleo beer as well. Paleo beer, wow.
So as came with the paleo beer, you might be creative enough and find your own. Until next time guys.
This is My Kitchen RX.
Enjoy.